Oh, hello! Welcome back to my Chanel, and as you can see by the title, today's video is going to be about my experience at the Endless Night Vampire Ball in Salem. It does not get more spooky than that. So I was invited as a special emissary by Vamp Fangs, who are the hosts of the event. I was beyond flattered that they invited me, and a special thanks to Bailey Madison, who was in charge of the guest list, so thank you so much for inviting me, Bailey. This was also my first official visit to Salem, so I was very excited to see all the spooky shops and just experience the city. Now, this was a very fancy and bougie vampire event, so naturally I felt right at home. So I received my official invitation in the mail from Vamp Fangs along with a few goodies. They sent me a perfume, a beautiful scarf, and it was gorgeous. It was all black with golden embossing. So from the get-go, I already knew this is going to be fancy. And luckily I got to bring a +1, so my boyfriend joined me. So they invited me in June, which was perfect because it gave me all the time I needed to plan my outfits and everything I wanted to wear to the event. And because I'm me, I wanted to be super extra and try to make as much of my outfits as I could just to make sure that no one else would be wearing the same thing that I was. And as a result, there are going to be several DIY videos showing how I made what I wore. And the craziest part to me was my boyfriend and I started looking at hotels and Airbnbs months out from the event, and we couldn't find anything. Everything in Salem was fully booked. So if you're ever planning on going to visit Salem, especially around spooky season, I highly recommend planning far in advance. I think some people said that they book a year in advance, which is insane to me. But yeah, you need to plan in advance for a Salem October trip. Luckily, we found a really cute Airbnb about 15 or 20 minutes away. So because Salem is about 3 or 4 hours from where I live, we decided to drive, and my boyfriend was very sweet and did all of the driving the first night. So we arrived on Friday in the afternoon, and looking back, I wish we had given ourselves a day before the event started just to like unwind and unpack and relax. So I would not recommend arriving the same day as the event starts. On Friday evening, there were several events that took place, and there were also several dress codes, which I kind of enjoyed. On Friday, it was all black on black, no color was allowed, including jewelry, and all of the events took place at the Hawthorne Hotel, which is in Salem, obviously. So the first event that we had on Friday was the Convivium dinner, which was really fun, and the food was incredible. Ben and Lex were there from Vamp Fangs, as well as Father Sebastian, as well as many beautiful goth influencers, such as myself. But it was really cool to meet so many people that I've followed and only seen online for so many years. And like I said, the food was really, really good. There was little plates all around this table that you could choose from, and there was a variety of options too. There was vegan, vegetarian, meat lovers such as myself, and then they had the vampire wine, which was a red wine. They also had a bar as well. And for the dinner, it was very casual. Everyone just kind of milled around talking and getting to know each other, eating, drinking. And then after the dinner, there was the vampire salon. There was different types of food going around on plates, which was also very delicious. More drinks. There was also a ritual performed by Father Sebastian. I think the dancing during the salon was one of my favorite parts of that first night, aside from the food, because I love food. But I am a sucker for good music and getting to go out on the dance floor, so I really enjoyed that part of the evening. It was so much fun to dance. And after the salon, there was the infamous lingerie tea party, which was also so much fun. Because I was so excited to be invited to a fancy event like this, I went all out with my outfits, my hair and makeup. I actually had this wig made for the event specifically by Shopwell Beauty, and he did an amazing job, so thank you. I figured one way to stand out at an all-black party was to have colorful hair, so here I am. I originally wanted to make my entire outfit for Friday night, but unfortunately I ran out of time and also creativity, so I just made the pieces that went on top. I made all of these cobweb pieces myself. There was a bustier that I wore on top, and then there were the hip, I don't know what you would call them, hip cages, hip webs. And I also made the halo or collar cobweb in the back of my head. The rest of my outfit was from different companies. I'm wearing shoes by La Moda. My dress is from Shein, as well as my beautiful velvet sleeves, which you may recognize from a recent Shein haul. My necklace I actually found at Walmart. It's a cute little spider, and I also am wearing cobweb earrings, but you can't really see it because, you know, there's so much black in my outfit. But I was really happy with my outfit the first night, as well as with my makeup and my hair. I just felt like a dark vampire queen, and I was very happy. So that's what I wore for the first half of the night. Then about halfway through the salon, I started dancing and getting too warm, so I took off a lot of the pieces, including the velvet shrug with the sleeves and my cobweb stuff, leaving my black dress from Shein. I was very excited to wear my lingerie outfit for the tea party, also from Shein, are we surprised? But it was a little mesh number with sparkly rhinestones, much like the shirt I'm wearing today. And I wore nipple pasties and I was good to go. I also changed my shoes. I wore these beautiful rhinestone cobweb shoes from Macy's, I think. We also had a howl the first night as well, which was super fun. Now, Saturday they had several events throughout the day that you could go to in the hotel, like dark yoga, meditation, some readings, but I decided to skip all that because I really wanted to explore Salem since it was my first time going. So my boyfriend explored Salem, we went all over. I got to go on a ship, which was so amazing because, you know, I love Pirates of the Caribbean and ships, and it was called the Friendship of Salem. But we wandered through the streets and saw so many cool people dressed up. We saw the Addams family, we saw Jack Skellington, which made me so happy. We also saw the Sanderson sisters walking through the streets. And some of you reached out to tell me different shops that you thought I should go to, so we went to several museums. We went to the Halloween Museum, which wasn't that great. We also went to Count Orlok's museum. That one I highly recommend. It was very, very cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures because they actually don't want you to take pictures to preserve the mystique of the museum, but it's amazing life-size wax figures of all your favorite horror characters, all the way from Frankenstein, Dracula to Chucky, and it was a very cool experience. Highly recommend that one. Another cool thing about this event is that Killstar actually reached out to me to ask if I could do some content for them, and they gifted me an entire outfit in return, so I did some video and some photos. I was feeling myself in this all black look, especially with this wig. And then we went back to our Airbnb to get ready for the ball. So for my outfit for the ball, I wanted to stand out, as I do, so instead of wearing black, I decided to go with all red, which was pretty much just my birthday outfit, which is also mostly from Shein. The things that I made were my headpiece and the bloody glove cloth pieces. Now, everything is pretty much from Shein except for the things that I made. I ordered these red gloves off of Amazon, I think, about a week or two before, because I love to procrastinate. I added some red nails onto them as well, and then I sewed on the creepy cloth, which I got also, I think, from Walmart for a couple of bucks. And then I painted it with red acrylic paint to get that beautiful bloody gradient effect. And then of course I had to wear my thigh-high red PVC boots. I felt so sexy, and I actually dyed my hair for the event as well. I dyed it black using the Arctic Fox Transylvania color. So I had my natural hair out instead of a wig. And I was actually planning on straightening my hair, but because it had been up in braids for 2 days under this wig, when I took it out, it was just so perfectly curly, I decided to go with my natural hair. And of course, to finish off the look, I wore my fangs from Scarecrow Vampire Fangs. These are in the style small sexy. So this was Saturday night for the ball. Everything started at around 8:30 p.m. and it was insane. There were so many different places to go look and see things that were happening. There was a dungeon, which I really enjoyed, and we had some shibari going on down there. We had a DJ down there as well. I'd only ever read about shibari, so seeing it in person was really neat. They also had, I think, 2 or 3 other DJs upstairs. There were 3 different rooms for dance floors. There was also a 360 video space, which was so much fun. I got the coolest video with that. It was perfect to show off my outfit and my fangs. And because of Vamp Fangs' generosity, I was invited as a diamond ticket holder, which meant I got to go to the upper level, which was so cool. General admission only gets you on the lower floor, which is still amazing because there were 2 or 3 dance floors down there, as well as the bars. But on the upper level, there were little windows where you could just watch the performances on the main stage that were happening, and the performances were really cool, but I'll get to that in a second. There was just so much. So on the second floor, there was a surprise shibari interpretive dance performance just for the VIV and Diamond Pass holders, which was so cool to see. One of the main performers was called Aesthetic Perfection, which I'd never heard of before. I didn't get to see too much of their set because I was busy going around to all the other places, but from what I heard and saw, they reminded me a lot of Chris Motionless, and I love Chris Motionless, so very cool. But there were so many different DJs, and the music was actually really good. That was one thing that I was kind of worried about, not gonna lie, because whenever I've gone to events, or the one goth club I've gotten to go to in my lifetime, the music wasn't very good. And I'm very happy to say that every single DJ at this event was playing such good music. They played the song from Blade where they were all dancing in the club with the blood sprinklers. I was geeking out about that, not gonna lie. They played some awesome goth music. They basically just played everything that I love on my playlist at home, which was so cool. Then then later in the night were the special performances, which were several chain aerialists. This was so cool to see. There was a sword swallower called Brianna Belladonna, and then the pièce de résistance of all the performances I saw that night was Miss Juno, who pretty much is Akasha. She is so stunning, and I loved her burlesque act. It was perfection. And then there was the best dress contest, and I was so happy for the person who won because they totally deserved it. They looked amazing. And I got a picture with them. And then to finish off the night at around 1 a.m., we did the time warp. It doesn't get better than that. I love the time warp, and I had so much fun dancing to that and singing. The only bad thing was we had done so much sightseeing that day earlier in Saturday. I didn't get to dance as much as I would have liked because my feet were hurting me. I spent most of the time upstairs kind of sitting on one of the couches on the second floor watching the performances from the little windows, but I still had a good time. All in all, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I would love to go again. And they have different vampire balls in different locations. There's one coming up later this month in New Orleans. There's one in Los Angeles. They're all different locations. So you can find out where and more information on vampfangs.com. And I also want to say Vampfangs is not paying me to make this video. I just wanted to make it because I know I was curious about the event and I couldn't really find any things online to show what it was actually like from an attendee's point of view. Like, I know they have their own content on the Vampfangs channel and the Endless Night channel, but I wanted to see someone's experience, so hopefully this will help someone if they want to go. But I highly recommend it if you want to dress up and be a gorgeous, glamorous vampire for a weekend. Do it. But I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.